Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's class, I'll be teaching you how to derive the quadratic equation, quadratic formula, and how the quadratic formula come into existence. How does it start? And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. Go and put on the notification button so that anytime I upload a video like this, you will be notified. And in today's class, I'll be teaching you how to derive the quadratic formula. How does the almighty formula, also known as the quadratic formula, come into existence? Now, if you look at the expression, it comes from a linear equation of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now from this, if you have an equation like this, you should know that first of all, you're going to take the constant where a, b, and c are constant. But the constant without a variable x is the one you will be taking to the right hand of the equation, where you will say, first of all, you say subtract c to both sides. Then this will give you ax squared plus bx plus c minus c is equal to 0 minus c. And if you have done something like this, you will be having c here will be gone, c here will be gone, which you have ax squared plus bx is equal to minus c. So with the look of this, our aim and objective is actually to make x stand alone as the subject of the expression. So what you need to do is to divide each term by the coefficient of x. We divide each term by a, which will give you ax squared divided by a plus bx divided by a is equal to minus c divided by a. Now if you have done something like this will go with this, which you have x squared plus b over a of x, and will give you this will be equal to minus c over a. Now which step do you need to take now? You are having an expression like this, so what you needed to do is actually to say you take half the sum of the coefficient of x and square it to both sides. Remember, this method is known as completing square method. So how do you take half the coefficient of x and then squaring to both sides? You have x squared plus the coefficient of x is b over a. So half of the coefficient of x is what? B over a times 1 over 2. So that is taking half the coefficient of, and then they say you should square it to both sides. So this is of x, and this will be applicable to minus c over a plus half. They say the sum, so you have a plus here. Take half, the coefficient of this will give you b over a times 1 over 2, and they say you should square it all to both sides. So this is going to give you have x squared plus half the coefficient of this now becomes b over 2a, but they say you should square it to both sides. This is b, you should square it to both sides, and this is going to be equal to minus c over a plus this will give you b over 2a all square. Now from the right hand side, you have this will be equal to minus c over a plus, you open this bracket, you get b square minus this square is 4a square. 4a square. So what you are going to do, the left hand side now is, because this is the difference of two square, you say this is x plus b over 2a, and this will all be squared, and this is equal to minus c over a plus b square divided by 4a square. 4a square. Now here you have the right hand, from the right hand side you have minus c all over. From the right hand side you have to take the LCM of the denominators, which is 4a square. Now 4a square we divide by 8a, you have 4a, because a is removed from 4a square, so you have 4a AC, and this we have a negative sign. This we have a negative sign attached to it. So then this 4a square divided by 4a square will give you, but because of your sign here you have plus 4 plus b square. 4a square will go with 4a square, you have 1 times b square will give you b square. So what you have here, rewriting this, you have negative 4ac plus b square all divided by 4a square, but you can write this as well as b square minus 4ac all divided by 4a square. Now coming back to your left hand side, when you come back to your left hand side, you have in your bracket you have x plus b over 2a all square. So you are going to take the square root of both sides. Take the square root of both sides. Now if you have done this, in bracket x plus b over 2a all square root, this will be equal to plus or minus the square root of b square minus 4ac all divided by 4a square. So this square will go with the square root here. Now at the left hand side, what you'll be left here is just b square over 2a, x plus b over 2a. I will rewrite this to the next page. Now if you look at the right hand side, you have plus or minus the square root of b square minus 4 times a times c all divided by 4a square. So you will see the root is covering both the numerator and the denominator, but the square root of 4a square can give you, this will be equivalent to plus or minus the square root of b square minus 4ac, and this will be divided. Now the square root is x, is the denominator is excluded from the square root because it's going to give you square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of a square will give you a. So this is actually yielding our almighty the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is now coming out. So what do you come to the left hand to do? Write it x plus b over 2a will be equal to plus or minus the square root of b square minus 4ac, or divide by 2a. So what you need to do is that subtract b over 2a to both sides. So when you subtract b over 2a to both sides, you have x plus b over 2a minus b over 2a is equal to minus b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b square minus 4ac, or divide by 2a. Now from here, this b over 2a will go with this. B over 2a minus b over 2a is 0. So you have x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of, the square root, bring down your square root, the square root of b square minus 4ac, or divide by 2a. This divide by 2a. Now the numerators are having the same, they're having the same coefficient, they're having the same variables, they're having the same, the LCM are the same. So x now will be equal to minus b plus or minus, if you take the LCM you still get, this one will cancel. So this will be, this is the square root of b square minus 4ac, now all divide by 2a, which is your quadratic formula. This is your quadratic formula. This is your quadratic formula. Mind you, there are three ways of solving quadratic equation, either by completing square, and which is the same method we use in order to derive this quadratic formula, and we have the factorization method, and we have um, the formula method, what you use in substituting in the general formula of the quadratic equation. So if you like and enjoy this class, please subscribe to my channel, as I'll be bringing to you many videos on how you can solve your mathematics and related problems to mathematics. Thank you so much. God bless you.